Welcome to the Python training video 1, and if you're watching this video you should be on this challenge in your Python programming unit, and here it says task detail, understand what this video covers, so open Python and Python shell versus Python Gui, adding text or strings and variables. So open this link and wear headphones, follow the video carefully step by step. You can rewind or pause back, okay, and we add this code to your programming diary. So what we're going to do, we're going to introduce all of it, okay. I assume you know nothing about Python, so don't worry, okay. Well, the first thing is, how do we get Python up? Well, what you do is, you need to go to on your screen. For some reason I've just opened Outlook for no reason at all, but you open up click on the start button, and then on your menu you will have all programs and then computing and business, and then in that menu you'll have Python in there. And when you load it up, okay, when you load up Python, it will look something like this. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, doesn't look particularly exciting. Okay, it's not like Scratch or Kodu, where you've got blocks of code or 3D graphical. This is a programming language where you need to start programming the computer to do what you want it to do, and you have to program it line by line and so on, so that there's no graphical interface. Okay, it's not a game. So it really is starting programming properly for the first time. Now we've got, on the first requirement, it said to open Python, which we've done, and look at Python shell versus Python GUI. Okay, what does that mean? Well, this is Python shell. Okay, and you can say at the top there, and what this shows is, well, it's a quick way of creating a program. So if I want to do something really simple like 3 plus 6, I get 9. Okay, if I type in hello, whoops, I get an error. So it's a quick way of doing things, and the reason that you'd use this is just for working things out quickly, a bit of code there, or if you wanted something that is saved and kept, you'd use the Python GUI. So go File, New File, and this bit is the GUI, the graphical user interface, okay, version, which allows you to store code up, build it line by line, and then run it, see what happens, but then, you know, next day bring it back up and save it and save it and save it. So this one, okay, is for quick code, okay, and this one is for building up your code line by line, changing it, running it, because if we wanted to do the 3 plus 6 again, we'd have to redo it, you know. If we wanted to say a word, okay, like hello, then we've got to put this code in here. But if we wanted to do it again, I suppose we could copy it. Okay, but each time we have to copy it or replace it. It's a bit of a pain. It has its place, but we will be working mainly in this one here. So your first bit of evidence could be that you know, you screenshot this. I'll just press the screenshot button, okay, and you go into here, and it says here, step by step, when you get asked to add this code to your programming diary, which I'm asking you to do now, okay, add the date description. So you need to open up your programming diary, which is here, put your name in it. I'll put my name in, Mr. Carter, class 8, whatever, and then go to your first date. So let's put in 01/11, let's widen this text box, okay, 15, what's this one, GUI versus shell, okay, and then in here I do my print screen. I've got the two versions, and then I could use maybe some arrows, or just maybe a note in here to show that I understand what I'm doing. So the difference between GUI and shell is that. Okay, and you can write that. So that's the first part done. So what we've learned so far is there are two ways in Python to program: the quick way, okay, and the way that we'll use most of the time, which is to be able to store your code here, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so the next part on training video 1 is so we've done that bit, that's done, is adding text. Okay, now like any language, there are different meanings of the things that that we would associate. So we call it text. In programming, it's called strings or string. Okay, so how do we say something really simple? Okay, like hello world. Well, first of all let's start using the Python Gui. So if I can't do that because you need to give an instruction to the program. Say, well, okay, what have I got to do? What do I got to display? So you've got to for text, it's print, and then we've got a bracket or a parentheses, and then a speech mark, hello world. Okay, and you got a closed speech mark, close a bracket. Okay, now how do we see that working? So if we go run module, must be saved. Okay, and here's something to remember. Okay, let's create somewhere. Let's put this in document, and we'll call it Mr. Carter's work, and we'll call it Python training video. Okay, and we'll call this something. Don't call it, number 1, number 2. Call it hello world program, because this is a program. Okay, .py. Press save, and then okay, can you see what happens? Hello world. Now we could actually close that, run that again. Okay, hello world. Okay, so this Python GUI is allowing us, okay, you can just press F5 to run this program at any time. Okay, so print hello world. Okay, and that might be a good bit of evidence to put in your programming diary. Let's say we can also add another line in. Say, well, let's put print hello your name. So let's put in print, and we can copy and paste. There's no problem about that. We don't mind that. Copy and paste. So I just did Control V there, and I could go hello Mr. Carter or hello Bob. So let's go hello Bob. Well, we don't want world, we want Bob. So what do we do next? And this is where we start to add in some features. Okay, so hello, and then Mr. Carter. And there we go. Run that. Save it because it's changed. Hello world. Hello Mr. Carter. So we're now building up a little bit of program. You see what I've done there? So it's adding in 2 bits of string there. Okay. Another one. This is a little test for you. How would you get it to say my name 5 times? Okay, so if I give you a clue, okay, how can I make it do it 5 times? What maths could we use? Have a think. Okay, well, this is what you do. So multiplied, okay, by 5. Okay, let's try that. So press F5 or that one. There we go. Oh, hello world, hello Mr. Carter, hello, 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 hello. So it says hello 5 times. I think we're supposed to say hello Mr. Carter. Anyways, but you can put a space in there, and then when you run it again, okay, there we go. All right, so we're getting a bit of an idea. So here's another challenge for you. How would we program it to show over here? Ha ha, ho ho. Bit of sort of Christmas there. Ha ha, ho ho. Okay, well, we could go over here, print. Okay, so we could go ha, and then we also need another ho here, don't we? How would we do it? So it would do ha twice and ho twice. Okay, well, how we do go ha times 2, comma, ho times 2. Okay, let's try that. Run module. There we go. Ha ha, ho ho. We need a little gap there. Oops. Okay, so ha ha, ho ho. Run that so it's a little bit better now. There we go. Perfect. So that's an introduction to text or strings. So basically what we're using the Python Gui part of Python, and then we're using the print function plus the left and right parentheses or the brackets, yeah? And we need to put those in. Remember, words or text need to be shown with speech marks around it. And we can just, we've got a comma there just to break things up, okay, and show the program what to do. Remember, the program goes line to line, so it goes down. It processes things down. So what I want you to do now is maybe have a screenshot of that, okay, and go to your next part of your programming diary, okay, put a date in here, the title, so this is Python strings, Python text or text or strings, okay, so you might need to change that around, and then pop in your screenshot and annotate what it's doing, okay. And what this will help you is that when you come back towards the end of this topic, you can look back at you know, some of the how you did things. So if you've got a particular project, okay, then you can go back and say, oh yeah, that's how I do this, or that's the code for that. Oh, that's how I, yeah, that's that comma there, that's that space. Oh right, I put 2 brackets there, or whatever. Okay, so let's go back to where we've got to. So we've done this, the text and the strings. Okay, what about creating, asking a question like what's your name? Okay, how will we do that? How will we program? Well, let's start a new file. Okay, so let's get it. It's always good if you're starting a new program to start a brand new file and then save that separately. Okay, so we need to say basically, you know, what's your name? Okay, so okay, we know the bit about print. We know that bit, don't we? What is your first name? Okay. And then, so I always like, you know, when you're programming, just do what you know so far. Okay, so print, what is your name? Okay, I get that, so it's going to show that on the screen. And we also want, the second bit is your name is, okay, so we've got that code, but actually this is something that is called a variable, where we want the computer to ask in a particular way. You need to program it slightly different, and we need to use something called a variable and an input. Okay, let me just pop this up here, and I want to show you how we're going to do it. So we need to have somewhere in the program to store that name, that forename, that first name. So if we type in first name, okay, so first name is going to be the name we're going to give to whatever the person types in, the user, equals, now this is something you won't know, but it's the input, okay, and then if we bring this bit of code up, we don't want print, we want this bit here, okay, we want the what is your first name, okay, so this is absolutely correct now. Okay, so first name, so this is called a variable. It will store whatever the person types in. Okay, so let's see how this program works. If we run this so far, it's not quite finished. So if we say this is, let's call that program number 1. I'll call this number 2. What's your name? Okay, remember, name things properly. .py. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, what's your first name? My first name's Steve. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong, but it's not quite finished, is it? So it allows me to type my name in. Okay, but nothing. It doesn't come up with the rest of it. Okay, that's fine. That's a good start. Let's put a space in now. Maybe we'll put in something like that. There we go. So what's your name? So when we run that, so what's your name? That. Okay, I think I put in something a bit odd there. Okay, your name is what? Okay, what is your name? Your name is, what do you think we need to put in there? So your name is, we need to put a little comma in there, and we need to bring back that variable to actually have it printed out. So that's where it's kept, stored that input, and then we're calling it back here as part of the end statement. Okay, the end program. What's your first name? Your name is Steve. Okay, if we look at that, do you are you getting it a bit? Do you understand? So we run that. There's a bit of a space there. Okay, what's your first name? Steve. Okay, obviously I put on there, your name is Steve. Now, how can we put in a surname? Asking, okay, how could we do that? How do you think? I mean, pause this, have a think about it, look at it's really simple actually. So how could we say, what's your first name? What's your second name? Your name is whatever. Okay, well, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's copy that. Okay, we don't want the first name, we want a surname, don't we? So we need to have another variable, okay, to hold the input of surname. Alright, so surname equals input, what's your surname? How do you think we then display the surname? Okay, well, what we do there is we go comma and then surname. Alright, do you think that's going to work? Let's have a look. So run, there we go. What's your first name? I'm going to put in Donald. Oops, Donald, I spelled that wrong. Duck. Your name is Donald Duck. Okay, have a look at that, and is that making sense? So this is a variable. These are really important in programming, because we could have age, what's your height, tell us a joke, or whatever. Okay, and it's a really good way to store data in your program to then recall it later. Okay, so that's a little bit about storing, about text, how Python works, variables, and all sorts of things. And please do then add this evidence into here. So you should really end up with the one about GUI and shell, the one about text, and then also the one about the variables. Okay, and dealing with text. Hope that's helped. Enjoy that, and look forward to speaking to you in the second video.